I would like to, on behalf of the constituency of the admirers of the leadership group project, begin by congratulating effusively the organizers of the 2014 Leadership Conference and Awards. You will agree with me that it takes courage, dedication, and tenacity to put this kind of program together, especially when it had been earlier postponed. Sometimes I wonder how we are able to pull people from Nasarawa, from all kinds of parts of this country together. But I'm not surprised in the case of leadership group. And I say to those who may have been disturbed that it didn't happen when it happened, we say God's time is the best. Look at Chi Alayafi. And we thank Almighty Allah for that. We would like to salute the chairman of the leadership group, the founder, the one that carries all the headache. To some of us, we call him Mr., but he really is a chief. I must say that I'm very proud of Chief Sam Da Isaiah. His credentials tell the story. He's a traditional chief. He is the Ugumba Ndibo. He is the Jakadan Potiskum. And he is the Kakaki of Nupe. Chief, I pay my respects to you. But we know him more as an author, a journalist, a pharmacist, an activist, and indeed a comrade. We're not surprised that he's a comrade because he was born on May Day. And I would suggest that you watch him. His comrade persona will continue to show. We also know that he is a big player in the organized private sector. At the last count, he's either been chairman or major stakeholder in more than 17 companies. He's also famously known as a man of boundless optimism and uncommon focus, and of course, a former presidential aspirant. He's young, he's tough, and resolute. The presidency is still somewhere in the pipeline. But as the people say in the eastern part of this world, Oge Chukwu Kama, in other words, your time will come according to God's plan. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me also appreciate the board and management of the leadership group for their foresightedness and for their thoroughness in selecting the honor awardees today. They have selected deserving icons from the public and private sectors And they have worked very hard trying to beat the target. From what I'm told, they were here throughout the night, making sure that this place was fitting enough for you very special guests of honor. Please let's give this hard-working staff and management under the leadership of Mike Opere a round of applause. Mike Opere, wherever you are, well done. Of course, I must say that the leadership group has been given these awards for several years. It's not strange. Even the very first newspaper in the history of this world, known as Acta Diurna, that was the title of the paper, which was published in Rome around 59 BC, also gave awards to persons who excelled in their chosen fields. And you are carrying on that kind of role. I'm sure that His Royal Highness is on the way. Am I right? And we pay him our respect. The Etsu, the 13th Etsu Nupe, a man of character and dignity. The Nupe people can be very proud of themselves. Their language has been documented as far back as 1864. You remember somebody called Samuel Ajayi Crowther? He had given a full account of the grammar and vocabulary of the Nupe people as far back as then. Not very many ethnic groupings have had that advantage. So you Nupe people, you are from a very noble extraction, and you can be proud of yourselves. I salute President Obasanjo, who will be invested with the leadership person of the year. He is not here, so I will not make many comments about him. I also salute all the others who are awardees and their friends who have accompanied them here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate today to have amidst us an eminent person in the person of Professor Ibrahim Gambari, a man of many, many seasons. I have known him for decades, and he's always met my expectations. Today, he is going to speak to us, and I'm very certain that we will profit from and be refreshed by the depth of his well-researched and elegantly presented keynote speech. You don't make comments in Nigeria on an occasion like this without making one or two observations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, Nigeria as a nation has of course been subject to unceasing vilification and ridicule by an unending flow of articulate critics. As a nation, we have gone through horrific experiences as the tempests of politics and underdevelopment raged and continue to rage around us. But I say to you all, the time for lamentations should be over. If you continue to tell the world about your problems only, the world might just think that you love problems and give you more. So it is time now for us to become more positive about the prospects of this nation. Indeed, there are a number of small gains that we can celebrate. Faulted as we are, faulted as our democracy is, we have managed not one, but two successful democratic transitions. We have shed blood for this union in a brutal civil war, but we have kept the union together. We have demonstrated, for example, in Western Nigeria, that Islam and Christianity can survive and thrive within the same space. This is a lesson which the rest of the country and the world would do well to learn from. In Nigeria, we have laid to rest the myth that Nigerian leadership is not accessible to minority ethnicities. Nigeria has a full complement of brilliant men and women, women of character, of capacity, and competence. Nigeria has blessed the world with poets, authors, jurists, pharmacists, doctors, scientists, name them. In fact, let me tell you something, that there are more English speakers in Nigeria than in Britain. There are more Muslims in Nigeria than Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Afghanistan all combined. Nigeria has a great potential. What we simply need to do now is to demonstrate that Nigeria's leaders can team up, come together, pull together with passion and compassion. As the French say, à toute vitesse. À toute vitesse means at high speed, to work for the good of all Nigerians. We need to redefine for ourselves the terms under which we, Nigeria and Nigerians, will engage with one another. We need to address the structural faults that the Union presently has. We need to forge ahead with the urgent task of catching up with the rest of the world, which has continued to move on in leaps and bounds. And to round up, let me just observe that these days in Nigeria, the Nigerian space is awash with all kinds of awards. There are awards and there are awards. The leadership awards stand out and they are worth having. But not all awards are worth accepting. On the one hand, there are many who have not been given awards who richly deserve them. On the other hand, there are many others who keep on receiving awards but who don't deserve them. I can tell you that the leadership group has done thorough work, thorough homework to make sure that all these people who are receiving awards today truly deserve the quality awards. There are people who, when they are given awards, boast about these awards in their CVs. But there are others who, by their merely accepting awards, adorn the quality of that CV. The people, again, who are giving the awards today are quality laden. And they are true. I welcome you, sir, now that I see you, Your Excellency. Honorable Minister, I was saying that there are awards and there are awards. There are ministers and there are ministers. And also you find that not all awards make you happy. Take, for example, an award given to someone whose name I will give to you now. His name was Lieutenant General Mikhail Timovyevich Kalashnikov. He was a Russian general, inventor, military engineer, writer, and small arms designer. He was so successful that the USSR, as it was at that time, gave him a state prize, the highest they would have, in 1949, amidst pomp and circumstance. But the general was not happy. You remember that the small arms he made was called Automat Kalashnikov 47. His name is Kalashnikov. He had created that small arm in 1947. So they called it Automat Kalashnikov 47, which is AK-47. Now, it was so special to them that he was given this award. But he was not happy because the assault rifle, AK-47, had become a global tool for human destruction in the hands of millions of guerrillas, terrorists, and mercenary armies. He wasn't so happy. Now, on the other hand, in contrast, you will find that somebody called Professor Wale Soyinka received the Nobel Prize in 1986. At that time, it was for him and for all of us a major glory and a time for joy and triumph. What I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, is that the awards you are being given today is a source of joy. The awards themselves are a thing of beauty, and may they give you joy forever whenever you see the awards. The awards should make you proud and happy. You have been recognized among many millions of Nigerians. Sometimes we are 150, sometimes we are 160, sometimes we are 180. But there are millions of Nigerians, and you have been identified from this. I want to urge you to realize that by being given this award, you are being honored, you are being respected, you are being dignified, but you are also being challenged to continue to do more in such a way that your image will endure and Nigeria will profit from you. Congratulations to everybody. Please enjoy yourselves, and may God bless each and every one of us.
Thank you very much, the chairman of this occasion. Can we give him a warmer round of applause again? He has done a fantastic job for us. He's taken us down memory lane. He's brought out some salient issues, points that plague the country, Nigeria. Thank you very much, our chairman. I'd like to recognize some very important dignitaries that walked in as the chairman was making his presentation. We have in our midst His Excellency Alhaji Kashim Shettima, the Governor of Borno State. We're very happy to have the young, vibrant, passionate governor with us this morning. Your Excellency, you're welcome. We also have two very important people with us. We have His Excellency, the former governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. That's not it, but he is one of the men or one of the people of the moment. He's a ministerial candidate. Your Excellency, you're welcome. Congratulations, and we wish you well. We also have His Excellency, Mr. Gabriel Odom Emmanuel, the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Your Excellency, you're welcome. We also have in our midst Brigadier General Mansur Dang Ali with us. You're welcome. We have Alhaji Usman Jibril, another ministerial nominee for Nasarawa State. Today is a good day. Aren't you happy to be here in the midst of this distinguished people? Before I take my emir, I'd also like to recognize in our midst one woman, one personality that fits me as a person. I respect her. She's dogged. She's highly cerebral. She fights. She fights. And she does not run to fight another day. She fights and sees her fight to its logical conclusions. I'm talking about no other person than Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. An ovation for her from one side of the room, and nothing from this side and that side. That's more like it. I'd like to recognize my emir, our father, His Royal Highness Alhaji Yahaya Abubakar CFR, Chairman, Niger State Council of Traditional Rulers. Bagadoji, you're welcome. Bagadoji. We will take some more recognitions as we go along. this point, it is. We have Senator Abubakar Keri, the senator representing Borno North. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. At this point, I'd like to talk about the next item that we would be dealing with, and I'm happy I'm the one introducing the prof that would be given the keynote address titled Reclaiming Nigeria, a Pathway. I don't think anybody has the right, is more prepared to talk to us about this well-chosen topic than my professor, Professor Ibrahim Agboola Gambari. Professor Ibrahim Gambari, prior to joining the United Nations Secretariat as Under-Secretary in December 1999, he holds the record of being the longest serving ambassador and permanent representative of Nigeria to the United Nations. In fact, he is referred to as an international civil servant. Professor Gambari is a man for all challenges. He's your consummate conflict resolution guru. Wherever there is conflict, Professor Gambari is there. He's usually not only there, but he resolves the conflict. He did it in Sudan. He did it in Angola. He did the Aung San Suu Myanmar resolution. He's synonymous. Professor Gambari is synonymous to conflict resolution. He's a Nigerian scholar. He's a diplomat, former Minister External Affairs. Over and above all, Professor Gambari, I'm sure, as sure as I am, that one day I'll leave this earth. Professor Gambari does not recognize this grandmother standing here as his student. Professor Gambari was my lecturer in the foremost university in Nigeria, ABU Zaria. I think ABU deserves much more than that. Professor Gambari is a man after our hearts. At that time, we had the likes of Professor Femi Odekule, we had Patrick Wilmot, we had the late Tahir, the late Bala Usman. They were all our lecturers. Today, we have ministers, we have ambassadors that have all gone under his tutelage. We're very proud to have been your students. Thank you very much. We just celebrated Teachers' Day. Sir, I call you to give us the pathway, Your Excellency, sir.
His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari, represented here by His Excellency Engineer Babashir David Lawal, the chairman of this occasion, my own dear friend and long-time associate and brother Julius Adlelusi Adlewuji, His Excellency Alhaji Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, Governor of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, Governor of Borno State. Please give them a round of applause anytime. The Chairman of the Leadership, Samunda Isaiah, Senator Philip Tamino Adoda, Chief Host, the Chairman of the APC, Chief Oyego, was also a former governor. And I must tell you, my fondest memory of him was about 31 years ago when I was a young minister and he was a young permanent secretary in the federal ministry. We are both aged somewhat. I also want to recognize, of course, His Royal Highness, the Esu Nupe, Alhaji Dr. Yaya Abubakar Bagarushi. Dr. Kayode Fayemi is also here, the former governor of Ekiti State and minister designate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please give me a round of applause. Your Excellencies, here present, Royal Fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen and their friends. The MC for this occasion actually gave me the best title of all, which is that I'm simply Ibrahim Agbola Gambari, a teacher by training and by choice, and a diplomat by accident. And I'm so proud that many of my students, former students, are governors, ministers, ambassadors, and yes, grandmothers. I would like to commence my presentation by expressing profound appreciation to the management and the entire team of Leadership newspaper for kindly providing the platform for me to share my thoughts on the very topical and thought-provoking topic, Reclaiming Nigeria, a Pathway. This presentation is supposed to have been given a year ago, but it's appropriate that it's given now because the task of reclaiming Nigeria has to be seen as an ongoing task. It is my hope, however, that at the conclusion of my presentation today, we will have sufficiently rigorously interrogated the essence of the first part of the theme, Reclaiming Nigeria. But as our chairman of the occasion reminds us, is not just about what is wrong with us as a nation, as a people, but also what is right with us and the pathway towards making a better Nigeria. And what is the pathway to what? Pathway to democratic consolidation, economic regeneration, and enduring peace and stability in our fatherland. Because without peace, there can be no development. Without sustainable development, there will be no durable peace. And without us operating in a democratic environment whereby we have the right to choose the leaders who govern us and the right to throw them out if they are not performing, there will neither be peace nor development. This is not just my view, but it's the view of two distinguished Secretary Generals of the United Nations, both of them Africans. Boutros Ghali, whom I had the honor to work with, and Kofi Annan, who had the honor to work for, produced respectively an agenda for peace, an agenda for development, and an agenda for democratization and human rights. So to a large extent, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'll be drawing on the stock of experience gained in my national service to Nigeria. By the way, the MC was also correct that I was the longest serving Nigerian ambassador to the UN. And that's why my youngest son used to think, when my time was up to leave the post, he said, I thought you were permanent representative of Nigeria. Where are you going? Where are we living? But change is part of life. The only thing that is permanent is change. But also, from my experience as an international civil servant, because, as I said elsewhere recently, Nigeria is not the world. We are part of the world. What we do or don't do affects the rest of the world, and what the world does affects us in a profound manner, because we are part of a common humanity. Furthermore, the topic of this address tempts me to throw up some questions, which I hope that in the question and answer period we will, in a very interactive way, address. If we say reclaiming Nigeria, reclaiming Nigeria from whom? Second question, reclaiming Nigeria from what? Okay. And reclaiming Nigeria for whom? You see, I had the privilege of also going to a university in the United Kingdom. And in my undergraduate days in that university, we students used to joke about the British. And we relate them to the newspapers they read, patronize. And it's also true of this country. There are those who think they own Nigeria. There are those who think they should own Nigeria. And there are those who think nobody should own Nigeria. And that is why when our president in his inaugural speech said, I belong to no one, but I belong to everyone. What it means is that the totality of our people, that is what Nigeria should be about. Nigeria should not be owned by anyone. Nigeria should be owned by everyone. So when we talk about reclaiming Nigeria, and we say for whom, it should be Nigeria for everyone. To reclaim Nigeria for everyone. Not for those who think they own Nigeria or they should own Nigeria, but that all of us should own Nigeria. And then a pathway to what? I've mentioned it, a pathway to a Nigeria that we can all be proud of, irrespective of ethnicity, religion, or class. The word reclaim in the ordinary dictionary meaning implies to bring back to a preferred manner of living based on sound principles, ideas, to recall from wrong or improper conduct, to rescue from an undesirable state, to restore to a previous natural state. The question therefore is to determine and define that which Nigeria has lost. What is the paradise that we have lost that we want to regain or reclaim? I'm sure that every member of this distinguished audience will agree with me that Nigeria is a long way away from the glorious place which our enormous human natural resources endowment qualifies us for. In other words, in order to move forward to a more perfect state called Nigeria, we have to be self-critical, and we have to admit as a starting point that 55 years after independence, Nigeria is definitely not where we should be or where we can be. Just look at those countries that we were at the point of independence at par in terms of per capita income, sometimes even ahead of them. Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan even. In many ways, they have left us behind. We should be there at par with them. But it's still not too late, as you will hear from my presentation. I would like to refer to a paper that I presented in Washington, D.C., United States, some years ago, which turned out to be very prescient and quite relevant. I talked about the Nigerian state and its enemies. The Nigerian state and its enemies. I'm inspired in this topic and title, this subtitle, by a famous book written by an Austrian-British philosopher called Sir Karl Popper. He wrote a book called The Open Society and Its Enemies. In other words, the enemies of an open society are totalitarianism, dictatorship, command economies, and all of that. Those are the enemies of open society. And I borrowed that title to suggest that it's appropriate to look at the Nigerian state and its enemies. So, who are these enemies of the Nigerian state? And by enemies, I don't mean individuals. I use the term to encompass those groups characterized by certain negative tendencies, phenomena, and trusts, which taken together constitute serious impediments to growth, development, corporate existence, and efficient functioning of the Nigerian state. A Nigerian state which serves the interests of the few rather than the interests of the many. In other words, the enemies of the Nigerian state undermine the emergence of a strong, united, prosperous, and just nation. I will only mention some of these enemies of the Nigerian state. By no means exhaustive. Of all the vices which have reared their ugly heads in enmity against the Nigerian state, it seems to me that ethnicity, or rather the wrong use of ethnicity, ranks as one of the most dangerous. In my view, no measure can blunt ethnic jingoism and advance the cause of national unity more than a determined, honest, and manifestly fair effort to treat all Nigerians, irrespective of their ethnic origin, equally before the law, as well as the respect for and the promotion of the human rights of all Nigerians. Writing 2 centuries ago, Usman Dan Fodio, a great reformer and leader, had this message for us, and I quote, please listen carefully. This is Usman Dan Fodio. one of the swiftest ways of destroying a kingdom or a state is to give preference to one particular tribe or ethnic group over another, or to show favor to one group of people rather than another. As another eminent person, Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States, put it very succinctly, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Justice and respect for the diversity of our nation are the prerequisites for a republic or the Nigerian state that is at peace with itself and consolidates its unity and democracy. Any meaningful analysis of the enemies of the Nigerian state is bound to identify national indiscipline and elite greed as factors at work against our society. Because indiscipline manifests itself in a general unwillingness to abide by laws and regulations designed to achieve a smooth functioning of society, as well as the failure to observe the minimum requirements of etiquette and ethics in official and unethical interaction. Again, I believe it was President Buhari said in his last address to the nation, 1st of October, that we have to check this, our unruly behavior. And there's nothing more painful to me, at least, that I watch Nigerians, particularly abroad, they queue and behave very correctly when they are checking in, for example, at the airport in foreign airlines. But when Nigerian Airways was functioning, just see how Nigerians behave when they try to check in the then Nigerian Airways. So what is it about us that can behave correctly in one instance and behave in an unruly manner in another? It is said jokingly, but with some justification, that one of the distinguishing features of Nigeria is that we really devise at least 10 ways to circumvent any new law or regulation that is passed. National indiscipline prevents the orderly achievement of national goals, as an inordinate amount of time is spent on trying to get people to display the minimum orderly behavior, without which civil society can only degenerate into animal kingdom with only the strongest surviving. Elite greed is a phenomenon with which we are all familiar, which manifests itself in the inordinate ambition to illegally amass wealth in breach of public trust, abuse of public office, bribery and corruption, and lack of capacity to distinguish public from private wealth. That is why this greed among the tiny elite in our country has tended to transform competition for public events into do or die instead of service. So that public office is increasingly seen not as a call to service and public trust, but as an opportunity to despoil the Commonwealth. Or worse still, that it is our turn. This idea that it's our turn. For a leadership to say it's our turn. To do what? To despoil the Commonwealth? To serve only the interests of our people? And a leadership that has sworn on the Bible or Quran respectively to defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it's not just in the public sector. The private sector in our country also needs a searchlight. Because with this elite greed, both in the private and the public sector, then who is the victim? The Nigerian people. Because the scarce resources that should otherwise have been used for development are exploited by a greedy few. In the First Republic, some of us were young, but we were aware. People used to say ministers take 10% bribe. Well, we have seen that we've gone beyond 10%, sometimes 100%, where no work is done, but the money has left the treasury. Another enemy of the Nigerian state, which is very clear, is the menace of Boko Haram. And I'm very happy that our governor, the governor of Borno State, is here. Please give him a round of applause. You see, the test of a leader is not to lead when times are fine. Is to distinguish yourself when times are rough. That's what distinguishes leadership. And I believe he has passed and is passing that test. Not because he's here with us. Even the international community recognizes that. Because the menace of Boko Haram, which is facing on a daily basis, because for some people in Lagos or Port Harcourt, they think Boko Haram, that's something that is happening to them over there. But on a daily basis, is facing this challenge. And we have to recognize this is a threat not just to Borno, not just for the Northeast, not even for Abuja or any other victims of violent extremism. The threat is to the Nigerian state and to our collective security. Because this represents not religion, but the misuse of religion. And definitely mindless sectarian violence against innocent people to undermine the unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of our country. Now, I ask the question, for whom are we going to reclaim Nigeria? First, I think we have to reclaim Nigeria for the people of Nigeria as a whole, perhaps particularly the underprivileged. Then the middle class, which used to be the vanguard of progress, democracy, and economic development, but they are increasingly impoverished in our country. And then we must also reclaim Nigeria for the youths of our country. Believe me, we are not serving the youth of this country well at all. And successive generations of Nigerian leadership has not, because we have this enormous youth unemployment. Some unemployable, but enormous youth. And how can we neglect the youth of this country so badly? They are our future, is a fact. And guess what? 62% of the Nigerian population is under 24 years old. And the average age of Nigeria is 18.2 years. Yet, on the positive side, their energy, the energy of the youth, their resourcefulness and creativity have the real potential to be harnessed to help lift Nigeria towards increasing socio-economic development. Reclaiming Nigeria for what? For engendering a vibrant United Nations which leverages on our diversities as sources of inner strength, vibrancy, and the maximization of our creative and productive potential through the erection and sustenance of durable governance institutions and structures, and mobilizing the citizens for patriotic commitment to the national ethos and faith in what the national flag represents. When on October the 1st, 1960, the then and the only Prime Minister in the history of our country, Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, vowed to dedicate, quote, his life to the services of our nation. He did so hoping that he will have entrenched in all of us the spirit and value of selfless dedication and commitment to the new Nigerian project. As the first constitutional leader, the Prime Minister went further to emphasize a great nation, which time has come to acquire our rightful place in the world. That is the Nigeria that we should reclaim for. Now, what is the pathway to reclaiming Nigeria? We have responsibilities that are public and also that belongs to the citizens of Nigeria. That is the responsibilities of the state and the responsibility of non-state actors and we the people of Nigeria. So we have to discuss how to mobilize the Nigerian people for an ethical revolution or transformation. How to re-strengthen and consolidate all the national structures, processes, agencies, and institutions for efficiencies and enhanced performance output levels. And at the forefront, we have to address the challenges of insecurity and violent extremism. Okay, go back to the most serious threat to our security, the Boko Haram. I recommend 3 differentiated but interrelated strategies. First, the use by the state of overwhelming force to degrade the military capability of the terrorist group. It should not be beyond the capacity of our military, and that's why President Buhari gave them 3 months within which to physically degrade the military capability of Boko Haram as a fighting force. And the military have said it's doable. First. Second, the mobilization of neighboring countries and the West African sub-region to collectively act to fight the scourge. Because terrorism does not recognize boundaries. Therefore, we must not recognize boundaries in fighting back. And that is why, once again, our president has made the first places he has gone after being sworn in was to visit the neighboring countries. Niger, Chad, Cameroon, Benin, even Ghana. But third, perhaps the most important, to drain the swamp, which is to embark not only on massive program for the relief of the victims of Boko Haram, but on socio-economic recovery and reconstruction of the areas of our country that have been devastated by the activities of the terrorist group. And one of the ways to drain the swamp, that is the pool of young people who are available to be recruited by bad people to do bad things. After all, we didn't know what is called suicide bombers. People used to say Nigerians love life too much to kill themselves in any cause. But they are with us. We have to drain the swamp of that pool of people that can be recruited by awful people, elders, adults, to do very bad things. And I believe that public policy must respond to and apply effective peace-building strategies to existing and emerging areas of crisis in our country. And I talk about peace building drawing on my own experience as an international civil servant in Angola, in Iraq, and even in Myanmar, to which was referred. You don't wait until the guns have stopped before you do peace building, because peace building means addressing the root causes of conflict and massive recovery, reconstruction, and reform. Now, I mentioned the role of non-state actors in reclaiming Nigeria. Non-state actors, that is, civil society groups. And please permit me here to do a little advertisement. There is an organization called the Savannah Center for Democracy, Diplomacy, and Development. Guess who is the chairman and founder of that center? Ibrahim Gambari standing before you. Because I feel the totality of my experience abroad in conflict resolution, conflict prevention, conflict resolution, as well as peace building should be brought to bear in setting up a center that will attract non-state actors, also government from time to time, to address issues before they get out of hand. In other words, to try to prevent conflict. If we cannot, how to keep the peace. And after the guns have stopped, how to consolidate the peace. And so, during the elections, we constituted a group we call the Council of the Wise, led by the former Chief Justice of the Federation, Justice Uwais. And we did our little bit to go around talking to civil society group, the security agencies, traditional rulers, INEC, to promote a peaceful and credible elections. Now, the elections are over, but the challenges facing Nigeria are not over. Therefore, I'm proposing that we resurrect that idea of the National Council of the Wise at the non-state action level, called the National Patriots. This nominated group will first jointly discuss and articulate the patriotic idea of reclamation, utilizing the voluminous work already done and contained in Vision 2010 And yes, some of the reports of the National Conference that are consistent with the aspiration of Nigerians and even consistent with the program of change by the governing party, the APC. So that represented all across the country, they'll be able to address the issue of reclamation and the pathway to peace, development, and democratization in our country. Second, mobilization of the citizens. Mazikan Oji wrote a book, Nigeria's Ethical Revolution 1981 to 2000, which I found extremely useful. And I also look at the report of the Political Bureau of Nigeria 1987, which recommended remobilizing the Nigerian people to renewed faith in the assumptions and benefits of the founding fathers of modern Nigeria. Incidentally, I was also interviewed on national television some time ago, and the interviewer was very clever. I said he watched the delegates to the national conference that took place last year, and every time that we think we have reached consensus, the delegates will be singing the old national anthem. Why? I said, well, first of all, some of us who are there are old, and so we know the old anthem more than the new one. But more importantly, there's something that resonated in that. Though tribes and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. That should be to mobilize the citizens in the pursuit of that ideal. So the anticipated behavioral innovation and change should be devoid of cosmetic dress-ups, palliative remedy, makeshift change rooted adventurously in the hopes of quick returns. If you want a revolution and a real change, it has to transcend partisanship. Because parties come and go, but the nation remains. The people of Nigeria will remain. And that is why one of the most profound philosophy, in my view, is very simple. It's in the, Mami wagon on our transport, road, which says, this slogan, no condition is permanent. See, it's a reminder to all of us sitting on that high table that our condition, governors, ministers, even with due respect to royal fathers, we will not be there forever. So whatever we have to do, we better do it now to make the life of people better. But it's also a hope for the downtrodden that no condition is permanent. But we must really act to give them hope. I also suggest strongly that one way of reclaiming Nigeria is to restructure our MDAs, the ministries and the departments and agencies of government for optimal performance. Because one of the things that have happened to us is that we have allowed our civil service and the public service in the ministries and the departments and agencies of government to deteriorate. No nation progresses without a strong civil service. You recall how proud we used to be of the Nigerian civil service at the regional and federal level. Look at the role they played during one of our crises, the second military coup, to hold Nigeria to, it was the so-called super palm sex. We have to go back to the era where the palm sex means palm sex service, where the heads of agencies mean competence. I give the story of Singapore, where I was privileged last year to do a stint as a visiting professor. And I asked the chairman of the Public Service Commission of Singapore, please listen carefully. I said, what do you do? And what I expected him to tell me was that their public service, but by the way, they have the same ethnic diversity, they are smaller than us, they have Malays, they have Indians, and they have Chinese. So they said, ask him, what do you do? I expected him to say, we recruit, we promote, and we discipline civil servants. He said, no, we are past that stage in Singapore. How do you think we move from being third world to first world? We make sure that meritocracy and efficiency and performance is a key. See? And we've laid that standard. Nobody can deviate from it. Nobody. Because they are swift punishments. So I asked them, then what do you do? He said, we go to secondary schools. That is a public service to identify the best talents in secondary schools. We identify them, we mentor them, we give them scholarship, because we are preparing them from secondary school to be the future permanent secretaries and head of our parastatals. Secretary of the government, I hope we are paying attention. They know what their permanent secretaries will look like, their profile, their training, 20, 25 years from now. So very strong institutions is very key. And the strong institutions is not just the civil service, but strong institutions that will check power. I guess that idea is what motivated President Obama when he came for the first time to Africa. He was Ghana and he was addressing Parliament. And he said, what Africa needs are not strong men, but strong institutions. That's only partly true. We need both strong institutions and strong leaders. Because weak leaders, guess what weak leaders do? They are very insecure and they subvert institutions. Another pathway is to check corruption. And there is no better way to check corruption than leadership. In other words, we have to have leaders who will tell us, not listen to what I want you to do, but don't watch what I do myself. It has to be leadership by example. And I think we are beginning to get a sense of what leadership by example is. So, leadership means having your own private religious views, but making sure that the people you govern, you respect their own religions. You demonstrate leadership by example, declaring your assets, living truthfully, decently, and zero tolerance for corruption. Strategic formulation of what will move the country forward. Look at the nation above sections and possess the good command of the art, the ethics, and strategies of statecraft, and yes, international diplomacy. The fifth part, in my view, is that we are living in a globalized world. Either you compete or you wither and you die. We cannot live in isolation. And that is why even conventional military power is no longer. The United States, for example, today, check it, not only is the most powerful militarily, but their navy, they spend on their navy more money than the money spent by 14 next countries in terms of what they spend on their navies. But that doesn't mean that their leadership in the world is able to transform situations. Iraq, Afghanistan, even Syria. So, leadership is not just military. And if it is, say, possession of nuclear weapons, North Korea will be one of the strongest countries in the world, but it's not. It's the totality of the values of a nation, the mobilization of the economic and social resources and the projection of national power. So one of the first things we have to get, one of the first steps in the pathway to reclaiming Nigeria is to check, to provide leadership to our people, to check corruption, to check insecurity, and to be a leader or provide leadership that all of us can identify with as our leader. And also our armed forces that are reprofessionalized. Don't forget, Nigeria is recognized as an international peacekeeping nation. I think we are the 6th largest troop contributing country in the world. We have brought peace to Liberia. We have brought peace to Sierra Leone. We have brought peace to as far away as Cambodia. We have brought peace even to Rwanda. I would also like to share with you another anecdote about how Nigeria's military and armed forces should be reprofessionalized so that they can project our power and respectability. I was in Rwanda in 1995, a year after the genocide, which, as head of the Security Council, UN Security Council delegation, which took about 800,000 lives in 1 month alone, the month of April 1994. When I went there, they started the process of rebuilding. And the then Vice President, Minister of Defense, Paul Kagame, who is now the President, asked to see me alone. I was heading a United Nations delegation for the Security Council. He said, I want to tell you something. Please, do you have in your program a visit to the Nigerian police force that are serving as a part of UN mission here? I said, no. I said, you better do so. I said, why? He said, the Nigerian police, after genocide came, they don't speak the language, but they have brought peace and security to Kigali, the capital. Yeah. Please go and thank them for our people. So I went and I saw the police. I said, officers of the Nigerian police, this is what the president of the country has asked me to tell you. But why are you so excellent outside but terrible at home? And he said, well, if you give us the means at home, respect, uniforms, equipment, we will perform abroad, at home, as well as we perform abroad. So, training, equipment, proper pay, regular pay, so that we will escape from a situation whereby, believe me, the world leaders are perplexed that a country that has brought peace to other lands and a military that has performed so brilliantly is having difficulties coping with an insurgency at home. So we have to change a lot of that. Because a nation is judged by its leadership, by its capacity to project power, and by the organization and management of its resources in a transparent manner. Mr. Chairman, it's very dangerous when you give a microphone to a professor of political science and an ambassador of long standing. But I must resist the temptation to continue to speak for too long. So I'm going to come to some conclusion. By the way, talking about ambassadors, there was an ambassador of India called Menon, and he loves to speak a lot. But there are two aspects of his character that I want to share with you, some of the secrets. In one of the time was to speak to the Security Council. I know, you know, India, it was ambassador of India. The foreign minister of India was speaking. And very passionate. So, he lost his papers. Thank God I'm holding on to my own papers. So somebody found the papers in the bathroom before he came and retrieved it. And he marked it on the margins. He says to himself, when you get to this point, shout. Because it's a weak point I'm making here. I hope I have not been shouting too much in my presentation. Okay. But the second is, by this Menon, is that he cannot get away from the microphone. So, one day he spoke for hours. And he fainted. Now, normally when somebody faints, what do? You try to revive him and put some salt. They say, bring salt, put it in his nostrils. You know, they said, bring the microphone close to his nose. And as soon as they did, he woke up and continued where he stopped. So let me, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, come to a conclusion. It is nationally worrisome and traumatic that after a centenary of the amalgamation of the protectorate of northern Nigeria with the colony and protectorate of southern Nigeria, to establish a modern day Nigeria 54 years after independence, we are still struggling with challenges. State making, state building, political brutality, ethnic and religious mistrust, intolerance, and violent extremism. But I also believe that it's not just what is wrong with us, the analysis of the problem. We have to go to what Lenin said. What did Lenin say? What is to be done? And that's why I've gone through the pathway to reclaiming Nigeria. We must defeat the enemies of Nigeria state. And it's my firm belief, in conclusion, that Nigeria is endowed with enviable physical and mineral resources, and that we have citizens imbued with sufficient patriotism to achieve our national objectives. Because it will be regrettable if our nation, bustling with great promise, is hindered from fulfilling its manifest destiny to Africa and the world because of the activities of the enemies of the state of Nigeria. So that my own hope is that in the same way that the open society, that the constitutionalism, free enterprise, democracy, human rights, now have triumphed over its enemies, which were identified by the late Karl Popper, the Nigerian state, in its role as the custodian and implementer of the hopes and aspirations of the majority of our people, would triumph over its enemies. But to actualize this, all well-meaning citizens of Nigeria must reason together and work together to help the Nigerian state toward the hidden and not so hidden agenda of the few who try to keep our nation down or even tear it apart. And the time to render such assistance is now. Because if not now, as the saying goes, when? And if not us, who? I thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Professor Ibrahim Agboola Gambari. Can we have a standing ovation for the keynote address? We want to thank Professor Ibrahim Agboola Gambari very sincerely for this wonderful paper, a paper that has taken us on a journey to reclaim Nigeria, a paper that has taken us on a pathway to think about the progression of our great country, Nigeria. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please one more time for the erudite Professor Ibrahim Gambari, please. Thank you very much. At this point, I'll please want to announce we were supposed to have taken a few questions, throw a few questions to the Prof, but please, because we're on live TV right now, we will be suspending that. So if you have any questions, we would like you to please write them down on a piece of paper, so you keep your piece of paper, we don't forget the question you want to ask. Towards the end of this program, we will take the questions. We'll take about 3, 4, 5 people, and I'm sure the Prof will be willing to answer a few of your questions. But right now, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to invite a wonderful man, a very special man, a very hardworking man, a man who we call our brother, our uncle, our friend, and most importantly, our landlord. Can we please welcome very specially the very distinguished, and I mean the very, very distinguished Senator Philip Aduda. He is the senator representing the FCT in the National Assembly. Distinguished Senator, you're most welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, our own dear Babacher David Lawal, the Chairman Leadership Group, our own dear brother Sam Isaiah, the Chairman of the occasion, the Chairman of the APC, well, my own Chairman PDP is on his way as well, on a lighter mood. My own dear brother, Senator Kerry, the Chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Power, Your Excellencies, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Borno State, and I was worried until I saw His Excellency Udom Emmanuel coming. My own dear brother from Akwa Ibom and PDP. Let me just say this, as I was coming in and I saw all the people talking about change, and I got a little bit apprehensive, and I said I should have come here with a PDP flag as the minority whip of the Senate. Your Excellencies, the ministerial nominees here present, our respected, very wonderful royal fathers who have come here to grace this occasion, our own dear father, Alhaji Abdul Muttalab, our own dear father, Your Excellency Gambari, and the chairman of the occasion once more. Okay, I've already said ministerial nominees, former Governor Fayemi, you're welcome. And my friend here, and Tumaka, I was just whispering to her, and I said that in the FCT, I think we have to start learning one language, which is Bagi, in our various schools, so that we can leave a lasting legacy and tradition for the FCT and for the people who form the nucleus of the Bagi people around the North Central. The MC, all protocols respectfully observed. Let me start by congratulating the Leadership newspaper for their dexterity in reportage. And let me say that for every morning when I wake up, the first and one of the first newspapers I look at is the Leadership newspaper. Number one, I go straight to the back page, Ghana must go. And I want to wonder who this man is yabbing, or who he's talking about, or who must have made a mistake yesterday or day before yesterday, and some guy is taking him on. So the first thing I do is to go there. After that, then I go to the nation's capital. I want to thank the Leadership newspaper for their reportage of the activities in the FCT, and not only in the FCT, but in the nation generally. Let me say you have done very well, and let me say that you have done well in ensuring that you have maintained the tempo for these leadership awards, because to whom much is given, much is expected. And this has ensured that those who benefit from these awards continue to do the best they can and continue to help and ensure that we have development in the society. Let me take three of the awardees, for example. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, a statesman. You can say anything, but one thing is clear. His belief in Nigeria, his belief in oneness and the indivisibility of Nigeria, and for always and for all seasons, he is a statesman par excellence. And we pray to God Almighty to continue to grant him long life so that we can tap from his wisdom. The governor of Borno State, against all odds, with insurgency, with war ravaging, he's been able to keep that state together. His love, care, and compassion for the IDPs. Your Excellency, you've done very well. And now, very close to me, unfortunately, the Constitution has not yet given me a governor, but I'm sure someday it will. Sam, I hope you will be reporting that as well when we start working on the Constitution. Governor Tanko Almakura, on a few occasions, I've seen him wearing a face cap, wearing a t-shirt and a jeans. And recently, he even tried in Mararaba to jump through a gutter. And I was looking at him because he was going around Mararaba to ensure free flow of traffic between the FCT and Nasarawa State. And I also saw that he has tried to ensure that there's free traffic flow and is opening other routes within our community around the Mararaba axis. And he's somebody that believes in a development commission that will ensure that states around the FCT can benefit from development, thereby bringing about development. For you, the award is, I want to say, to whom much is given, much is expected, and you must continue to live up to this expectation of the society. And to our elder statesmen, I want to say that, particularly to Ambassador His Excellency Gambari and Alhaji Mutalab and the chairman of this occasion, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, may God Almighty grant you people long life so that we, the young generations, can continue to tap from your wealth of experience so that we will grow and then we can have a better nation. To our royal fathers, may God Almighty continue to keep all of you so that we can continue to tap from you. And to everyone who has come here as the chief host, may God Almighty meet you at the point of your need. May God Almighty grant you your heart desire. And I thank you very much for coming, and God graciously grant you journeying mercies. Thank you very much. On behalf of the people of the FCT, I welcome you and I thank you very, very much. I'm looking forward to next year when we will be celebrating other giants and other wonderful Nigerians. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, the very distinguished Senator Philip Aduda. Please, can we give him another wonderful round of applause, please? Thank you. As the distinguished senator takes his rounds of greetings, and I'm sure he will be headed back to his seat very shortly, I would like to introduce a gentleman who we all know too very well. He's someone we like to refer to as a quintessential gentleman, a very focused, driven man, a man who has taken up the affairs of an uncommon state, a man who is a friend of Nigeria. And you can tell very closely that even as the banters are being exchanged, he is the only governor from the PDP amongst the APC. this is the way democracy should work in Nigeria. And I will please want us to give him a wonderful round of applause for this show of sportsmanship, if you ask me. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to invite a role model for the youth of not just Akwa Ibom State, but of Nigeria. Can we please welcome His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Governor Udom Emmanuel. Your Excellency, you're welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the SGF, Your Excellencies, distinguished amiable governors of Borno and Nasarawa states, the chairman of Leadership newspaper, the keynote speaker for today, the chairman of APC, our brother party, our younger brother, the immediate past governor of Ekiti State, the chief host, chairman of today's occasion, distinguished senators, members of the National Assembly, former ministers in the room, distinguished Nigerians, gentlemen of the press, without forgetting our royal father, who was here with us, but I think he has stepped out, the Etsunope, and all other royal fathers here present. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great pleasure to have this opportunity, if not for any other thing, to say big congratulations to Leadership newspaper. It is not easy to have a paper with the philosophy that they have for God and our country. That philosophy is a philosophy of unity. That philosophy is a philosophy that can bridge the gap between biases. Today, we are all here because we also believe, as a country, that we have politics, parties are just platforms that you get into governance. The election has been won and lost. It's time to deliver on dividends of democracy. So we all look forward to governance. And a great partner you have in good governance is in information dissemination. Leadership newspaper today, I'm not saying so because, of course, that's why I have to be here. Because it's one paper that believe actually the election in this country had been won and lost. And it's time for governance. The era of extremism in reporting, just sensitizing the public unnecessarily, and being a little bit, biased and callous in reporting, you won't find that in Leadership newspaper. I love their balanced reporting. I love their political columns, because you have something to pick. But that doesn't mean that we don't like opposition. Because opposition must be there in order to keep you on your toes. If you are a man, you don't have somebody who watches your back, who criticizes when you go wrong. You'll be leading others and even leading yourself to a place that you will not actually appreciate at the end of the day. So we love that. We love the constructive criticisms. We also want to be criticized because we don't know it all as leaders. But I also use this platform to promise Nigerians that the crop of governors that you see both inside and outside this room are governors that will deliver dividends of democracy to this country. I bet you on that. There are governors who are out for selfless service. So for a platform, and especially when you're getting into reclaiming Nigeria, a pathway. A pathway of reclaiming this country starts with the people, starts with the leaders that we are putting in place, starts with everybody contributing. I just launched a social rebirth in my state where I let the people to know that the era when you have to sit back and just be looking at that self-pity is gone past. It is the era that you have to rise yourself to your own greatness. It is an era that you have to believe in yourself and believe that what you have is all that you need in order to get to where you want to go to. It is an era, even as a country, we also need to rise to the fact that Nigeria is a great nation of a great people with great minds, that we must rise above biases, we must rise above gender, we must rise above religion, and we must look at a great country called Nigeria, and then we all work together to make sure we deliver that greatness. So that's why today I appreciate where some great leaders in this country are being recognized. I say big congratulations also to the awardees. It is good to recognize leadership. I looked at the people who are getting the award. Definitely you can't question a single one of them. I'll appreciate a situation where this will continue because people do not need anything more than that recognition. When they contribute to this great nation, people must also acknowledge what they are doing. I thank Leadership Newspaper. I thank all those who created time to be here today. And I also believe that all other papers who are probably a little bit to the extreme would learn from those who are actually out for nation building. I thank you all and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Governor Udom Emmanuel. Please, can we give him another warm round of applause? Your Excellencies, our very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to that point why we're all here. We're here to celebrate and to honor distinguished Nigerians who have been great leaders in their own rights and in their own capacities. And we thank once again the leadership group for this set of brilliant Nigerians that have been chosen to receive the 2014 awards, the Leadership Awards. And at this point, I would like to invite Lara to please come forward and start with the first award that we have for this day. And the first award will be going to the Leadership Sportsperson of the year 2014. And this award will be going to a lady we all see every time on our TV screens, doing this nation very proud. May I please invite Azizat Oshoala to please come forward. She is a female footballer in Nigeria and has done this country very proud. She is the Leadership Sportsperson of the year 2014. Can we have her or the representative of Azizat here? Okay, from the Nigerian Football Federation, we have a representative. Faith will be representing Azizat Oshoala. Please, can she just come on stage, please, while Lara will read out the citation. And may I please ask Hajia Sefia to be on standby for the Leadership Artist of the Year 2014. Can we have Faith up, please?
Leadership Sportsperson of the Year 2014 is Asisat Oshoala. Born on October the 9th, 1994, the Nigerian professional footballer who plays for Rivers Angels of Port Harcourt was the best player and highest goal scorer at the 2014 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Asisat was a delight to watch and was crowned as the best player and second top goal scorer with Nigeria's women's senior team, the Super Falcons, who won the 2014 African Women's Championship. Although originally an attacking midfielder, Asisat has continued to find success as a forward. The 20-year-old, born in Lagos, started her career at FC Robo in Mushin, Lagos State, before moving to join the Rivers Angels. Asisat won both the Adidas Golden Ball and Adidas Golden Boot Awards at the FIFA World Cup, scored the second fastest goal in the history of the female Under-20 World Cup, and helped Nigeria against the North Korean Under-20 team with a hat-trick. In September 2014, Asisat was made a member of the Order of the Niger by the then President Goodluck Jonathan, an honor she dedicated to her parents and teammates.
All right, thank you very much, Lara. To present this award to Asisat Oshoala, may I please invite the Director General of the NOA, Mr. Mike Omeri, the National Orientation Agency, Mr. Mike Omeri, to please come forward to present this award. Aha, good.
Of the leadership, newspapers, and the organizers of this event, I present to you this for onward delivery to one of our own, the great Asisat Oshoala. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Our hearty congratulations goes to Asisat Oshoala. Thank you very much. Please, I have just been informed that to save time, if the awardees that we call are not here, we will not be able to read the citation out. We'll just present it to whoever is here to collect the award so that we can save some time. However, we will read the citations of those who are here present. Thank you. May I please invite Hajia Sefia to come out for the citation for the Leadership Artist of the Year 2014, and the recipient will be Ali Nuhu. Ali Nuhu. Is Ali Nuhu here, please? Ali Nuhu or his representative? Do we have Uzi of Uzi Concepts present to come and collect this award for Ali Nuhu? Okay, thank you.
All existing protocol observed. This award of the best artist is given to Ali Nuhu, who unfortunately could not be here with us today, who is unavoidably held up in a location, and by the time he gets here, actually we will have been done with the award. He's been collected on his behalf by Uzi of Uzi Concepts. I'll call on the Director General of the National Orientation Agency to please do this honors. Mr. Mike Omeri, just two.
Very soon, the National Orientation Agency going to invite all our artists so that they include values in the content of their movies. And this is one signpost that we are on the way to doing the right things. On behalf of leadership and its management, I present this to you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the next award is Leadership Brand of the Year. Leadership Brand of the Year, won by Brains and Hammers. Can Brains and Hammers come forward, please, to collect it, or the representative of Brains and Hammer? Oh, the MD himself is here. Umar Abdullahi, the Managing Director of Brains and Hammers. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, since the MD is here physically, we will read the citation for Brains and Hammers, Leadership Brand of the Year 2014. Brains and Hammers, a real estate firm, has been voted Leadership Newspaper's Brand of the Year 2014. The company is one of the fastest growing Nigerian real estate development and management companies in the Federal Capital Territory. Brains and Hammers started operations in 2011 and has risen to become one of the fastest growing real estate firms in Nigeria, with focus on the mid-luxury range by maintaining control throughout the design and construction process. The company ensures that each of its estates is built to the highest quality standards with the utmost attention to detail. Brains and Hammers has also distinguished itself by adding value through the provision of access roads, bridges and culverts, as well as street lights which serve other residents of the areas where they build. As a direct consequence of its provision of infrastructure, such areas open up and the value of property in the areas appreciates. This is one of the qualities that stands it out as our brand of the year. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Leadership Brand of the Year, Brains and Hammers. Please, can we have a warm round of applause for them? And at this point, I'll please want to invite the Executive Vice Chairman of Leadership, Lere Bale, to please come out and present this award to Brains and Hammers. Thank you. Thank you. Please, can we have the award?
On behalf of the Leadership Awards Group, we'd like to present this to the MD of Brains and Hammer, and we wish that they continue to do the good work in order to sustain leadership in our country and in honor of God.
Thank you very much, and congratulations once again. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now be taking the one that we are all so very passionate about. We will be taking the Leadership Young Persons of the Year 2014 for Chibok Girls. May I please invite Lami Tumaka to handle that one.
Thank you very much. Young Persons Award of 2014, the Chibok Girls. On the 9th of April, the 14th, 2014, 276 female students were kidnapped from the government secondary school in the town of Chibok in Borno State. before I conclude the recitation, I'd like to call on Madam Due Process, the former Minister for Education, the alter ego of the Chibok girls, the alter ego, the fighter of the Chibok.
Chairman will present some guys.
Yes. Madam.
Pleasure.
In the school, responsibility for the kidnappings was claimed by Boko Haram, a terrorist organization claiming to be Islamic and based in that region of the country. Ever since the fate of those unfortunate girls, students, has become a pawn on the nation's political chessboard. The young girls' continued detention by the purveyors of evil has not ceased to generate outrage around the country and the whole world. The anguish of their parents is unimaginable. We empathize with them. Our hearts and thoughts remain with those lovely girls who are suffering for daring to reach their destiny by going to school. It is leadership's and indeed everyone's prayer that those courageous girls, those courageous students, those courageous Chibok girls will be released and brought back home without any delay. The Chibok girls, the award would be received by somebody who has been consistent. She has risked her life. A lot of negative things have been said about her, but she has remained resolute. Congratulations. I'd like to call, yes you can, but I'd like to call on the chairman of the leadership group, my brother, my friend, Mr. Sam Isaiah, to present this all-important, significant award. Congratulations, Madam.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to call a parent of our Chibok girls. Yes. Reverend Enoch Mark was until recently the chair of the Association of the Parents of our Chibok girls. He has two of his daughters amongst the children abducted. Reverend Enoch Mark, please come and receive the award. I also want to use the opportunity to say thank you to leadership. Many Nigerians, the ones that never believed that our Chibok girls were abducted, continue to mock them by saying it did not happen, or that the Bring Back Our Girls campaign has stopped. It hasn't. Every day, Sam sends two of his journalists to cover at the Unity Fountain the activities of Bring Back Our Girls. And so other media are welcome to field in similar kind of journalism around the matter of these girls who must never be forgotten. All we are saying is bring back our girls, now and alive.
And alive. The truth, nothing but the truth. Our girls back now and alive. Not until our girls are back and alive. Not without our daughters. Chibok. Nigeria. Chibokian. Nigeria. Humanity. The soul of Nigeria. Our Chibok girls is a fight for the soul of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
That's quite touching. On behalf of the leadership group, I want to present you this award. On behalf of all our girls, we have continued to pray for them, and we know that God will bring them back alive.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to bring it? I want it.
Okay. Oh, that was. You want to talk?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. May I please invite Lara to come forward as she comes to read the citation of the Leadership Bank of the Year 2014. And this goes to Jaiz Bank. Lara, over to you.
Leadership Bank of the Year 2014 is Jaiz Bank. And we would like to invite the chairman to please come and receive this award. The MD. Sorry, sir. The MD. Jaiz Bank PLC emerged as a special purpose vehicle from the former Jaiz International Bank PLC with the aim of establishing Nigeria's first non-interest bank. By non-interest banking, Jaiz seeks to offer almost all the services offered by conventional banks, except that they do not give or receive interest, nor finance anything that could cause harm to society. In 2011, it sought a regional banking license to operate in Nigeria's banking space and has since proved its viability as the country's premier non-interest bank. Its operations are based on the ethical principles of fairness, transparency, and objectivity. Its non-interest banking model has also elicited wide interest among Nigerians. When it went to the market with its initial public offer, it was oversubscribed by 120% because of the huge demand for interest-free banking in Nigeria. Beyond interest-free banking, Jaiz Bank has also proved its competence in product development with innovative banking products that cater for a wide gamut of Nigerians. Jaiz Auto Financing, designed for salary account holders in public, private, and other organizations, has made it easy for Nigerians to purchase brand new cars. The bank has also taken the lead in mobile banking. It recently entered into partnership with TZ Mobile, a mobile payment service company, on mobile money services, with the aim of implementing financial services inclusion to meet the needs of the unbanked in the society. Jaiz recently obtained an approval in principle from the Central Bank of Nigeria for a national operating license. And to present this award to the Leadership Bank of the Year 2014, I'd like to call on
Sir Etekamba U. Umoren, who is the Secretary to the State Government, Akwa Ibom State Government.
On behalf of Leadership newspaper, I present this award to you and ask God to give you the grace and enablement to continue your service to humanity. Congratulations.
Thank you very much and congratulations. May I please invite Hajia Safia to take the next citation, and the next award will be going to the Leadership Microfinance Bank of the year 2014, and this goes to Fortis Microfinance Bank. Hajia Safia, please. Can we have the representative of Fortis Microfinance Bank, please? Thank you. Fortis Microfinance Bank, do we have any representative here? Okay, if we do not have a representative, then we will have to send the award to them in the office. Thank you, Hajia. Thank you. The next set of awards will be going to the Leadership Government Agency of the year 2014. And this award goes to Smedan. Smedan. Do we have any representative from Smedan here? The DG is here. Please, can we give the DG a wonderful round of applause, please, as he comes forward. Leadership Government Agency of the Year. Please, can we make way for the DG of Smedan, please? Please, can we make way? Thank you. You're welcome, sir. The Leadership Newspapers Board of Editors, in voting the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, as the Government Agency of the year 2014, considered its policy of tackling the challenges of micro, small, medium, and medium enterprises in Nigeria in a holistic manner. With the introduction of the National Enterprise Development Program, NEDEP, the agency set out to generate 3.5 million jobs and an estimated 5 million direct and indirect jobs between 2013 and 2015. It is also focusing on skills acquisition and entrepreneurship, training, Business Development Service, BDS, and access to finance. The entrepreneurship training component of NEDEP is being executed under the One Local Government, One Product, OLOP platform. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, SMEDAN are the winners of this award, Leadership Government Agency. Please, can we give them a warm round of applause? May I please invite Senator Carey, please, to come and present this award to Smedan. Distinguished Senator Carey, so please come and make this presentation. Thank you. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I was just going to step out. I would like to congratulate Smedan for this wonderful achievement and for this award. As we all know, Smedan is an agency of the government that handles and takes care of small and medium scale enterprises. So this shows that you have been doing well, and we want to encourage you to do more to ensure the change that we all yearn for. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Carey. Thank you. Please, can we have another warm round of applause, please, for Smedan? Congratulations again. All right, I'll please want to invite Lami Tumaka to please come and take the next citation for the Leadership Company of the Year, which goes to the Stallion Group. The Stallion Group.
Leadership Company of the Year 2014. Award for to the Stallion Group. The Leadership Board of Editors, in arriving at this decision, considered the company's contributions to the nation's business and economy sectors. Stallion is a 40-year-old business enterprise that has grown from its modest start into a multi-business conglomerate, one of the largest in the West African sub-region. Today, Stallion has a multinational presence in 18 countries and is involved in commodities, agriculture, food, automobile, and services. It draws its strength from its high caliber and experienced human resources with extensive operational expertise in the complex African market. Sensing the growing demand for quality products, Stallion invested heavily in infrastructure comprising warehousing, cold storages, factories, office buildings, showroom, workshop, logistics, equipment, and transportation. Stallion established a stable infrastructure that supports optimal distribution of products at the most economic terms to its customers. Stallion also employs several thousand local staff and invests in their development through education, training, experience across industries. We have a gentleman from the Stallion Group to collect the award on behalf of Stallion. And to do the presentation is the former governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, a ministerial candidate that will surely scale through because we wish him well. Dr. Fayemi, please. Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Congratulations. 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 Thank you very much. The next award is Leadership Product of the Year 2014 to Innocent Vehicles and to be presented by Lara.
I'd like to invite Mr. Jonas M. Ojukwu, a director in the company, to receive this award. Leadership Product of the Year 2014 is Innocent Vehicle. On October the 15th, 2010, Goodluck Jonathan, then as president, officially commissioned the Innocent Motors range of products, which comprises 17 and 43-seater buses, pickup vans, and sports utility vehicles. Innocent Group is a Nigerian automobile company that manufactures vehicles. Recently, cars were added to the Innocent Motors range. The vehicles are 80 to 90% made in Nigeria. All the components are designed and molded by the company, some parts sourced from other automobile companies, but all in Nigeria, Nnewi, Anambra State. Innocent Group Nigeria Limited dates back to 1986 when it started with the importation of motorcycle parts into the country. In the early 2000s, the company decided to start the local production of motorcycle parts and their assemblage in Nnewi in order to reduce the price of motorcycles in Nigeria. The success of that venture motivated Innocent to go for the bigger feat of manufacturing vehicles. After a visit to the motor plant in Nnewi, Anambra State, the House of Representatives Committee on Local Content, in appreciation of the efforts, approved the use of Innocent vehicles for its official activities. Innocent Motors is Leadership Product of the Year 2014. And I would like to invite Alhaji Umaru Mutalab, Chairman Jaiz Bank, to please present this award to the recipients.
On behalf of the board management of Leadership Group of Newspapers, I would like to present this award to you for an excellent job which you have been doing all these years. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving ahead. And we have the next set of awards, which will be going to Benedict Peters Aito Groups, Leadership CEO of the year 2014. I've been informed they're not here, so the award will be sent to their office. May I please invite the representative of Adewale Jibril Tinubu of Owando, Mr. Doshu Odekunle, to please come forward to receive your award. Leadership Business Person of the year 2014. Leadership Business Person of the year 2014 goes to Adewale Jibril Tinubu of Owando. Please, can we give them a warm round of applause, please? May I please invite the National Chairman of the APC, Chief Odige Oyegun, to please come forward to present this award. Can we have the award, please? Leadership Business Person of the Year, Adewale Jibril Tinubu of Owando. You're welcome, sir.
Well, on behalf of the leadership group, it is indeed my pleasure and privilege to present to you this memorial of the fact that Tinubu has blazed the trail in the business world. May he continue to achieve greater success and sustain the leadership that he has started. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. Chief Odige Oyegun, thank you very much. May I please invite Lami Tumaka to take the next award, which is the Leadership Public Officer of the year 2014. And this goes to Gimba Yau Kumo of FMBM. Just before Lami does that, we have the representative of the Senate President here present with us. The Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has sent his representative, and the man I'm about to call actually needs no introduction. He is our brother, distinguished Senator Dino Melaye. Please, can we give him a warm round of applause? He is the Chairman Ad hoc Committee on Information in the Senate. Distinguished Senator, you're most welcome. Thank you. Lami, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Collins. The Leadership Public Officer of the year 2014 is Gimba Yao Ukumu. And the award is to be presented by, who is presenting it? Professor Gambari. I'd like to call, okay, yes. The Public Officer of the year, in arriving at the decision, the editors recalled that in the last 3 years, Kumo, through his well-thought-out initiatives, as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Mortgage Bank, has been able to prove that housing and housing finance are key drivers of economic development and political stability, and contribute a huge part to the nation's gross domestic product, GTB. To appreciate the good work Kumo is doing at FMNB, it is interesting to note that before now, the home ownership rate was a paltry 25%, but that has improved to 40%. An astute believer in self-development and professionalism, Malam Kumo has acquired several professional qualifications. He is a graduate of Ahmadu Bello University. He has a master's in business administration from the Tafawa Balewa University in Bauchi. He is an elected chairman of the Council of Fellows of the Chartered Institute of Administration and a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation, and also member Nigerian Institutes. Awards Mr. Kumo has earned are based on his exemplary leadership performance. I'd like to call on the Ambassador, Professor Gambari, to kindly come and present this award to your name. Hmm? Oh, you are here, you're in person. Yes, to Mr. Kumo himself.
Mr. Thank you. On behalf of Leadership Group, I hereby take great pleasure and personal one too in presenting to you this award. Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, the next is Leadership Banker, Leadership Banker of the Year. And the person to receive it is Henry James Semitari of Unity Bank, former Unity Bank. Miss Lara, please come and make the presentation. Congratulations.
When James Sementari took up the reins of management at Unity Bank PLC in 2011, it was evident that he had his work cut out for him. At the time, Unity Bank was still consolidating its hold on the Nigerian banking space after emerging from the largest merger and consolidation in Nigeria's banking industry. Semenitari, however, came ready for the job. He proved himself a marketer who knew his onions. He went to work, chiseling away every impediment to the emergence of Unity Bank as one of Nigeria's leading banks. He also brought to bear on Unity Bank more than 2 decades in banking experience, and the results are exciting for both customers and shareholders. Not done with repositioning Unity Bank, Semenitari took it to the next level on the consolidation ladder through rights issue and private placement of over 39 billion naira, which ended up oversubscribed. Prior to assuming the position of MD/CEO of Unity Bank in 2011, Semenitari served as Executive Director, Public Sector and Government at First City Monument Bank PLC. He has valuable and consistent banking experience in operations, internal control and commercial and retail banking, consumer banking, corporate banking, particularly energy, and so on, acquired from various banks over a 22-year career at First City Monument Bank, Zenith Bank, Diamond Bank, United Bank for Africa, ACB International Bank, and Continental Trust Bank. Mr. Sementari holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Lagos and an MBA from the University of Navarra, Barcelona, Spain. He is also an alumnus of both the Harvard and Cambridge Judge Business Schools. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests present, Leadership Banker of the Year 2014 is Mr. Henry James Sementari. And I would like to call on Prince Adelui to please present this award to the recipients. Prince Julius Adelui.
Congratulations on behalf of the leadership group. You have got something you must be proud of now and for the rest of your career. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, our chairman, for making the presentation. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving to one of the big ones we have for today. And we have the Leadership Politician of the Year 2014. This man is a great man. But I'll call on Hajia Safia to please come forward to read out his citation. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Leadership Politician of the Year 2014 is Alhaji Tanko Al Makura, Governor, Nasarawa State. Your Excellency, you're most welcome, sir. Hajia Safia, please, can you come out to read the citation? Thank you.
All existing protocol observed.
His Excellency, Governor Umaru Tanko Almakura, has come to represent the enigma and the roots of what has become today the APC. He was the very first and only governor to have emerged from the defunct CPC. Many who do not know how Umaru Tanko Almakura, the executive governor of Nasarawa State, succeeded in making himself a trailblazing politician, administrator, teacher, journalist, entrepreneur, and governor will wonder what informed leadership newspapers on this award. His Excellency, Governor Almakura, entered politics seeking the office of the governor on a double-digit disadvantage. His Excellency has lived with a health incapacitation of deafness for 20 years. That, however, did not deter him from joining the race for the government house of Nasarawa State on the premise and belief that he had what it takes to lead his people beyond the strife and ethnic crisis that had nearly or almost ripped the state apart. His Excellency, the Governor Almakura, is an enigma and a pride to what is today the representation of His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, who is his role model and who he shares his ideals and principles with, and who today we see that given what His Excellency has done in Nasarawa State, we have the hope that change has indeed arrived in Nigeria. We know, giving His Excellency as the exemplary performance he has given the state, we will not be disappointed, and I'm sure the President still sees him as he who represented and shared his ideals, which the good people of Nasarawa State shared. And this was most represented by the fact that the people of Nasarawa State rose in unison to tell the world that, look, our governor cannot be impeached on the Trump charges that were never in existence. That proved how much of a politician and how much of an administrator His Excellency, the governor of Nasarawa State, he is. Your Excellency, sir, we welcome you to this occasion and we congratulate you on this and wish you well as you continue. This award shall be presented by His Eminence, the Etsunupi.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, on behalf of the leadership group, I have the honor and privilege to present this commendable award to Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State. I pray Almighty Allah to continue to guide you, protect you, and give you the wisdom and strength to carry on the task you have been performing. Congratulations. God bless you.
Please, can we have some quiet in the hall? Please, can we have some quiet in the hall as we invite the next recipient, please? Please, can we please be quiet, please, so that we can listen to the next recipient? Thank you. Congratulations to Alhaji Tanko Almakura of Nasarawa State. The governor of Nasarawa State is the leadership politician of the year 2014. Our next award goes to the leadership governor of the year 2014, Alhaji Kashim Shetima of Borno State.
Now, this is one unique award for a very unique man. His state was and still is a hotbed of the Boko Haram insurgency that has left tears, blood, and destruction in its wake. That unfortunate situation thrust him in the eye of the storm and marked a defining moment in the affairs of a state that held a lot of promise for rural development. But as the crisis continued to take its toll in a manner that will task the resolve of even the most committed and gifted leader, Shettima, possibly in exasperation after the apparent helplessness of the security forces, admitted publicly that leadership at all levels had failed the people as far as resolving the Boko Haram issue was concerned. The matter of fact in which he uttered his regrets, particularly after the abduction of the Chibok girls, and his general candor and humility were fully conveyed the feelings of the people. Kashim Shettima was born on September the 2nd in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. He studied agricultural science at the University of Maiduguri and graduated in 1989. He did his National Youth Service in Calabar with the Nigerian Agricultural Cooperative Bank, NACB, from 1989 to 1990. He then enrolled for a master's degree in agricultural economics the following year. Alhaji Kashim Shettima contested the gubernatorial polls in Borno State on the platform of the All Nigeria People's Party in the April 2011 general elections and won. His administration's can-do approach to governance in Borno State continues to serve as the tonic to ginger the people into action and work towards making the state achieve meaningful development in all spheres of life. And finally, the intervention by his government to eliminate unemployment is a policy designed to create equilibrium so as to ensure that the income generated by the state and what it produces is consistent with the full employment potentials of its labor force. It is with all of this that we honor His Excellency Alhaji Kashim Shettima, the Leadership Governor of the year 2014. Please, a warm round of applause for His Excellency. And to present this award is the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Engineer Babachir Lawal.
Congratulations, sir. May God continue to give you wisdom and courage to do the needful for your people. God bless you, sir.
Please, can we have a warm round of applause for His Excellency? Thank you very much. Thank you. May I please invite Lami Tumaka to please come forward as we take the leadership person of the year 2014. This will be the last award for today, and this award goes to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Leadership Person of the Year.
The awards that I am going to take now, I hope the video is on cue. Okay. The award is the Leadership Person of the Year 2014, and no other person than the former President of Nigeria, President Olusegun Obasanjo. Love him or loathe him, he is an enigma. He is somebody you cannot ignore. The leadership newspapers Board of Editors' choice of Obasanjo was compelled by the need to focus on the message he has sustained over the years. Former President Obasanjo promised to be here in person. We went to see him twice, He confirmed he'll be here, but there was a proviso he gave to us that he could be called on international duty, that it's only on that premise that he might not be able to attend. And today, we are aware that he is out for 2 international assignments. He is on his way to Morocco and Kenya on behalf of the Nigerian government. His award, he told us categorically, because we requested if he was going to send a representative, but he said no way. We came twice to Otta to invite him. We should take his award to him in Otta, at Otta. So we are on our way to Otta as soon as he comes back. And anybody who is interested in going with us, you can join us to present his award to him. However, there's a video. There's a video that okay, there's a goodwill message that we're going to listen to the president. Can the video please be on cue? Can we please give the former president a rousing round of applause for all he has done for this great nation? Please let us recognize, let us give him a warm round of applause, please. Okay, when we go to Otta, we shall see the former president live. I'd like to call on Governor Al-Makura to please come and give us a response on behalf of all the awardees. Governor Al-Makura, please. And congratulations again.
Thank you very much. The representative of Mr. President, in the person of Mr. B.D. Lawal, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the chairman of this occasion, Prince Julius Adelusi, the chairman, leadership group, His Excellency Sam Nda Azaya, the national chairman of APC and the undisputed chairman of chairmen, His Excellency Chief Oyegu, Your Excellency, my brother, my colleague, the Governor of Borno State, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and my colleague, my brother, my friend, the former Governor of Ekiti State. The distinguished guest speaker on this occasion, who had been my lecturer way back in the 70s, Professor Gambari, our elder statesman, one who is a role model in the person of Alhaji Umaru Mutallab, distinguished senators and members of the National and State Houses of Assembly, Your Royal Highness, the Etsunupe, Your Royal Highness, the Emir of Lafia, all royal fathers here present, honorable ministerial nominees of Ekiti, Fahimi, Kayode, and that of Nasarawa, Ibrahim Usman Jibrin, heads of federal government agencies and departments, captains of industries, former ministers, former senators, and former public office holders, my lords, spiritual and temporal members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me, on behalf of myself and all the attendees on this very auspicious occasion, extend our total and absolute appreciation to the leadership group and the editorial board for finding us worthy of these coveted positions. I must say, on behalf of all of us, we are highly overwhelmed. We are humble that in a country with over 170 million people, that we could be singled out for recognition in our various areas that we excel, going by the judgment of the leadership group. I must say, this has put us in a situation of challenge and a situation where we need to earn this recognition. And let me digress a little. Having been conferred with this coveted title of the Politician of the Year, I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to the people in my constituency. These are the politicians of Nigeria. From whichever political party you come, there is a big challenge facing us at this point in time. It is so auspicious and timely that the theme of this lecture is Reclaiming Nigeria, the Pathways. I do not want to make any more comments more than the erudite expression of what is the perception of this theme, but I would like to add a little bit to it. The professor has taken us on a memory lane right from the amalgamation of this country up to this point in time. And you could see that there is tremendous amount of challenge facing every Nigerian, particularly those of us at this generation. This country is in the threshold of either to survive or to fail completely. This position we are in now is so critical. Critical in the sense that we have got a leader in this country who personifies his commitment, patriotism, and sincerity of purpose. That is the president of this country, Muhammadu Buhari. I'm calling on all of us that it is time now or never that we should support this wonderful Nigerian who will take this country to the promised land, given his pedigree, given his antecedents. I would like to call on all of us to take this challenge with these few attributes. I would want us to look inwards and rededicate ourselves to the survival of this country through value orientation, ethics, rule of law, accountability, transparency, and self-denial, leadership by example, and above all, the fear of Almighty God. I think if we imbibe this and internalize them, Nigeria will have a very, very promising future, given the leadership we have at the moment. I would also want us to desist and run away from negative tendencies that have bedeviled this country for long. It is time for rebirth. It is time for reformation of this country. I am calling on all Nigerians that believe in the oneness and destiny of this country to join hands with Mr. President to salvage this country from the yokes of corruption, maladministration, stealing, and all kinds of vices. Let me also advise young Nigerians not to get taken away by social media, because social media is a medium that is supposed to add value to the quality of life of our people. But when we resort to indoctrination, brainwashing, and aspersions, we will be shooting ourselves on the leg. On this note, I want to use this opportunity to thank the leadership group who have considered us worthy of this award, and also the very distinguished Nigerians who have graced this occasion to give it the necessary support that it deserves. I thank you. May God continue to bless Nigeria. May God continue to lead us right. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Can we hear it for the people's governor, please? Yes, can we hear it? A louder one, please, for the people's governor. And congratulations, 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 congratulations to all the winners today. You have won. To whom much is given, we are told, much is expected. Do not rest on your oars. Continue to impress us with all your achievements. Come to the end of this program. I'd like to call on the Vice Chairman of the Leadership Group, Mr. Larry Bale. So please give us, Mr. Bale, please, the Executive Vice Chairman of the Leadership Group. Can we have your attention, please? Thank you very much.
The purpose of the Leadership Award is to openly acknowledge and honor individuals, corporate citizens, brands, etc. that have made outstanding contribution to the growth and development of our country and humanity. It is in line with our desire to honor God and our country. In other words, Leadership Group aspires to inspire people in order to develop our country and honor God. We believe that everything rises and falls with leadership. Today, we have been vindicated by honoring leaders irrespective of gender, social, economic status, political affiliation, or religion. Therefore, on behalf of the entire leadership group, we want to express our sincere gratitude, first to the Almighty Creator, and also to everyone who ensured that they graced this occasion. We want to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a world-class model leader by example, ably represented by the SGF, Babacha David Lawal, the Chairman, Prince Julius Adewale Adelusi Adeluyi, our father and mentor, our royal father of the day, His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Yahya Abubakar, CFR, the keynote speaker, and also a former lecturer to me in ABU, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, former permanent representative to the United Nations and mentor to us as well. The chief host, Senator Philip Aduda, the leadership person of the year, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and other award winners, we say congratulations. We want to thank His Excellency Comrade Adam Oshiomhole for finding time to come, and other excellencies, governors of various states, senators, members of the House of Rep, my brother Dr. Fayemi, and other ministerial nominees, my Lord Spiritual and Temporal, our royal father, like I mentioned, and other royal fathers, members of the media, to the chairman of leadership for initiating this special award. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you to all. God bless the leadership group, and may God bless Nigeria. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you very much. We appreciate you. The media, without you, this would not have been possible. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the distinguished guests here present. I'd like to please request that we all rise up for the national anthem signifying the end of this program. Can we have the national anthem, please? Thank you very much. Thank you to my colleague, my co-presenter, Mr. Collins, all the members of the organizing committee, all those here present. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. God bless you.